Hey, Previews World. This is Troy Jeffrey Allen here at San Diego Comic-Con, and I am sitting next to Jason Howard.
Hello.
Now, you might know Jason from Trees, and you also said Super Dinosaur?
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Super Dinosaur and then Astounding Wolfman,
Okay.
all from Image Comics.
Two Kirkman books.
Yeah, two
All
Kirkman
right,
books.
awesome. So you know him from Trees, but he's also here today because he's well, he's not showcasing, but he's going to let us know a little bit about a new book that's about to come out with Warren Ellis called Cemetery Beach. And I've read the description of this. I'm definitely an Ellis fan. I'm definitely a fan of your artwork. I'm definitely a fan of action.
Thanks.
And one of the things that I heard immediately, like when he was first like teasing this on his newsletter, was that you issued a challenge to him to kind of like make something that was a little bit more fast-paced. So you want to talk about that a little bit? What was that challenge exactly?
Yeah, sure. Warren and I had been working on Trees, and we were nearing the end of the second volume of Trees. And Trees was really fun for me because it's the pacing and like Warren's sort of dramatic, I guess, storytelling style on Trees, where it kind of builds up to these, it's like a slow burn, and it kind of builds up to moments of like, a lot of violence and, big changes. A
little bit more cerebral.
Yeah, but, the build sometimes as an artist, you're like, all right, like I'm not stretching my sort of action muscles. And, so we had thought after that second volume of Trees, I said, let's, do something where it's a little more kinetic and we can kind of push that a little farther and push that action. And so he started talking about ideas, and I think I might have sent over some reference images and something a little more sci-fi. I really like drawing like mechanical tech and things, and so he kind of came up with this concept for Cemetery Beach, and I was like, that sounds really cool. And then we kind of dove in and started working on it.
That's
so
cool.
yeah.
So okay, let's talk a little bit about the book.
Sure.
It sounds like, and I'm just speculating here.
Right.
In my mind, when I read the description, it sounds like Total Recall meets Prison Break.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. The sort of high concept is, 100 years ago we found this planet. So like the 1920s, some scientists found a planet they thought could support life, and they sent a rocket ship filled with people to colonize this planet using tech from that time. And then it was lost to history and just recently has been rediscovered. And we're kind of like, what the heck? And are these people still up there? And if so, what's been happening for the past 100 years? And so we send a guy to be the sort of point recon, snoop around, see what's going on, check out the place. And that's really where our story starts, is this sort of insane off-world colony that's sort of stuck in a tech from like World War I, World War II era.
Oh, that far back.
But it's, so you've got some, tanks, but the nature of the world allows things a little higher technology so they can fly. Like they've developed like flying engines and things. So you've got like flying tanks and, guys on flying motorcycles, but they're all in kind of old-timey, military uniforms, and this guy who's completely out of place in this colony full of insane people. And he's got to figure out what's going on, and kind of he ends up in a bad situation pretty early and has to basically escape. And so the story of Cemetery Beach is really kind of a guy on the run, and as he's figuring out the world and the backstory, we're figuring it out with him. And it's really fun from an artist place for me to draw. And, Warren, if you know Warren's work, he tends to bring, a kind of weirdness, but, and this story's really bringing a lot of heart, too. So for me as an artist, I'm like, oh, this is perfect, where you get the action and you get the explosions and the cool comic book stuff, but then you've got characters that you actually like, oh, man, there's heart here, and if Trees was sort of like a serialized like drama series, like a TV series style, this is more of like a movie, like here's your cool kind of summer movie. So it's been really fun. Yeah,
that's cool. So what was the inspiration for this one? Like, it's like I mentioned Total Recall and Prison Break, but I wanted in your own words.
Some of the kinetic action of like the Mad Max movies, where it's like, you've got that kind of driving energy, kind of carry it through. Especially Fury Road was very much like that, where you had a very kind of simple story with a lot of cool stuff built around it. On the story side, it's kind of Warren bringing Warren stuff, but for me on the art side, it was super fun because I could pull up I just have folders where I got tons of photos from like World War I, World War II, and just kind of used a lot of that stuff as inspiration for the visuals and the environments in the story. Where sometimes as an artist, I think back on comics I used to like. I'm like, I want to channel this artist or this thing or this one. It was really fun to kind of pull that environment from that time period and look at some of that, cooler, older, like submarine interiors with all the pipes, and then try to bring that to the design of the environments and stuff. Cool. It was really fun as a sort of creative, artist challenge, I guess.
Yeah, and that's a lot of cool, research, it sounds like.
Yeah.
So on top of that, all right, you guys, this is your second project with Warren.
Yep.
Are we going to get a trilogy? Are you going to go for 3?
I hope so.
Okay.
Yeah, he's written a couple scripts for the next volume of Trees.
Right.
So there will be more Trees. Mm-hmm. And then, we actually have talked, just loosely about other things, but, who knows where I guess the future holds. Right now I'm just focused on, working on Cemetery Beach and, get that wrapped up. But, Warren is one of my favorite writers before I worked with him, so being able to work with him on a book is pretty cool. And when I get emails with scripts, that's sort of like younger person in your brain. It's like, wait a minute, I just got an email from Warren Ellis with a script, and now I have to try to draw this? There's that moment where you kind of forget you've been doing comics for a while and you just feel like a fan, and you're like, oh yeah, I can draw this. Like let's go. Let's bring it. But there's always that little moment when you get an email. You're like, oh yeah,
I saw some of the pages you teased on Twitter. Yeah. And the fun of it is already coming across. Okay. So I'm looking forward to it. Thanks. All right, let's switch gears a little second because you talked about Trees earlier, and it's definitely the project you're known for. In addition to others, of course. Yep. But what can you tell us about the TV show that's in development for Trees?
Not a ton.
I don't want to get you in trouble.
No.
Right.
It was optioned by NBC Universal through Tom Hardy's production company.
Oh, nice.
So
bringing it back to Mad Max.
Yeah, there you go. I didn't think about that. And it's been optioned, and it's in development. Okay. So that's sort of nebulous area where who knows exactly what's going on at the moment. Yeah. But they still hold that option for the series, and for me, I think it'd make a great TV series. Yeah. And I'd love to see that happen.
No, that's awesome. Cemetery Beach is coming out September 12th. It is solicited in this issue of Previews. Number 1 is coming from Image Comics. Yep. Thank you very much for coming out here, man.
Thank you, Troy. I appreciate it.
And enjoy the rest of Comic-Con.
I will.
And you guys, we'll catch you later.
Hey Previews World, would you like to win a copy of next month's Previews catalog? Comment below with your favorite Marvel character, and one lucky winner will receive a free copy of the upcoming Previews catalog.